Murray survives in 5. The American men continue to thrive. That and a whole lot more here on Advantage Receiver.
Game, 7 match, Murray. Recess for 2.
Hello everyone and welcome to Advantage Receiver. Let's get you caught up on everything that went down on day 4. The American men continue to thrive down in Melbourne. It's been incredible. Tommy Paul was 2-1 down against Davidovich Fokina, wins in 5. Jensen Brooksby goes up against number 2 seed Casper Ruud. Casper Ruud had a chance to become number 1 in the world if he won this tournament. Casper Ruud gets knocked out by Jensen Brooksby in 4 sets. Brooksby looked incredible. His backhand was on point last night. Brooksby will meet Tommy Paul in the next round. Out of college, Ben Shelton, Florida Gator, wins in straight sets. He's having a fantastic tournament. Big ups to Ben Shelton, doing as well as he has in this tournament. Really good stuff from him. J.J. Wolf over Diego Schwartzman. Still a great win for J.J. Wolf. Not surprising since Schwartzman had that injury in Adelaide about a week ago. So definitely wasn't the same quality that Schwartzman usually is. But a big win for J.J. Wolf getting through that one. Unfortunately, the top-ranked American, Taylor Fritz, is out. Lost in a 5-set battle yesterday over Alexei Popyrin from Australia, so he had the crowd support behind him. A really tough break for Fritz, falling in 5 sets there. Really had a good chance to get to the semifinals against Djokovic, which projected to get there. Unfortunately, Fritz does fall in 5 sets, is out in the second round. Michael Mmoh, really impressed with him. Michael Mmoh is a lucky loser. Now, for those of you who don't know what a lucky loser is, their lucky loser is someone that played in the qualifiers, lost, but then got in because of withdrawal. In this case, Michael Mmoh lost in qualifiers. David Goffin withdrew, and Michael Mmoh got in as a lucky loser, and he's making the best of that situation, knocking out Alexander Zverev in 4 sets. Not sure how the ankle held up in that one, but Michael Mmoh advances in 4 sets over Alexander Zverev. Really good win for Michael Mmoh. Unfortunately, Brandon Holt, who is the son of Tracy Austin, he was up 2-0 on Roberto Bautista Agut, who's a great player, really good opponent, and just Bautista Agut used his veteran skills and got over that one. He won it in 5 sets, so a tough break for Brandon Holt to have that chance to go through there and advance, but Roberto Bautista Agut gets through that one in 5 sets. Other than the American men, there's some quality stuff yesterday. Look at Dimitrov. Dimitrov has spent a lot of time on court. Won yesterday, won his first round as well in straight sets, not spending a lot of time on court. He'll play Novak Djokovic, who won last night in 4 sets. Tough-looking Djokovic last night. His hamstring was bothering him, especially in the second set. He got through it. He did say in the post-match interview the hamstring is not good at all. You really don't want to hear that. Not something you want to hear. Hopefully it holds up, but he's going to have to really work against Dimitrov. Dimitrov can move. If that backhand's working, it's going to be tough for Djokovic. So not as easy as it usually is for Novak down in Australia or in the early going. We'll see how his hamstring holds up going forward against Dimitrov, but it should be a good quality contest. Grigor Dimitrov and Novak Djokovic in the next round. And of course, the match of the day, match of the tournament, Sir Andrew Murray. What can you say about this legend that hasn't been said already? He was up 2-0 over Matteo Berrettini in the first round. And Berrettini, he came back, fought his way like he always does. Berrettini is a huge fighter, and got to a 5th set. They got to a 5th set super tie break, and Murray was able to come through that one in 5. Then today, like early morning till afternoon, if you live on the East Coast, the match didn't end till almost noon here, 4 a.m. Melbourne time. Andy Murray was down 2-0 to Thanasi Kokkinakis. Obviously had the crowd support behind him because he's from Australia, and he won the Grand Slam last year with Nick Kyrgios in doubles, so obviously the crowd is behind Kokkinakis. And somehow, some way, Murray finds a way to get through in 5 sets, 7-5 in the 5th, 5 hours and 45 minutes, nearly ending it over at 4 a.m. in the morning. Andy Murray, with a metal hip, is in the next round. Unbelievable. He has the unlucky break of facing Roberto Bautista Agut, but like I said, Bautista Agut did play 5 sets as well. Not as long as Murray did, but we'll see how both their legs are in that match, the next round. Ironically enough, when Andy Murray announced his retirement a couple years ago, his last match, he battled Roberto Bautista Agut in that match in Australia, and he lost. So people thought that might have been his last match. Now, a couple years later, He's moving as good as ever. Lendl's back in camp. He looks really good. We'll see if Murray can advance against Batista in this one. If he was able to get past him, he would play the winner of Jensen Brooksby and Tommy Paul in the 4th round. We'll see what happens with Murray. He could potentially, he could play Novak Djokovic in the semis if they both get there. Wouldn't that be something? 2 living legends, and who would have thought Murray would get to a semifinal of a slam again with the metal hip and all the issues he had medically. But big upstanding Murray, battling nearly 6 hours on court at age 35. What can you say about Andy Murray other than legendary? Absolutely legendary. So the matches for day 5, you have Jannik Sinner versus Martin Fucsovics. Really tough match, I think, for Fucsovics, I think. And Sinner as well. Both tough opponents. Should be an interesting match. Fucsovics played really well in the last match. Remember, he took his shirt off and showed his muscles, and then Medvedev kind of showed what he had there. But so Sinner takes on Fucsovics next. That should be a really good matchup. Tsitsipas in action. Mackie McDonald versus Nishioka. Can Mackie McDonald get the game back that he had against Nadal? Sometimes when you play a legend like that, it's tough to duplicate that level of play. We'll see if he can tonight against Nishioka. Should be an interesting matchup for Mackie McDonald. Ajay Aliassime is in action as well. The loaded night session tonight. The night session is absolutely stacked. You have Francis Tiafoe against Karen Khachanov. You have Denis Shapovalov versus Herbie Hurkacz. And Daniil Medvedev versus Sebastian Korda. Those 3 matches look like absolute box office quality matches from all 6 opponents. Should be one hell of a night tonight on the men's side. As far as the women's side, Arina Sabalenka, she is playing absolutely well, strong, lights out tennis right now. She is looking every much the favorite that she is. Right now, I think she should be second right behind Iga Swiatek because we'll get to why in a little bit. We'll get to why Sabalenka is probably the second favorite now behind Swiatek. But she looked good last night, really good serving. She could have had a hiccup against Shelby Rogers. Shelby Rogers is a good quality opponent, but Sabalenka was able to navigate the first set, and then the second set was 6-1. Pretty solid performance from Sabalenka in that match. Katie Volinets, another American, takes out Veronika Kudermetova. Really tough match for Volinets, I thought. Kudermetova was serving really well, moving, played really well in Adelaide, but Katie Volinets, with obviously the greatest tennis name ever, takes out Kudermetova in straight sets. Really good win for Katie Volinets. Really good win there for the young American, and really good stuff down for her. Elise Mertens takes out Lauren Davis, so Elise Mertens will take on Sabalenka in the next round. Another, I think, good quality match from both players, Sabalenka and Mertens. That should be a good matchup coming up for them. Look out for Pliskova. Pliskova is in the 3rd round. Carolina Pliskova in the 3rd round. She's a good chance to get to the quarters. She's gotten really in her way because of things that fell her way. So I take a look at Pliskova to see if she can get to the quarterfinals of a slam. Really good stuff from her. I said it the other day. I'm going to say it again. Keep your eye on Linda Fruhvirtova, Czech Republic, 17 years old. Really good player. She's in the 3rd round. She could also get to a quarterfinal the way things go for her. So definitely look out for her because of things shake up with what I'm getting to. I'll mention that in a second. But good on Fruhvirtova to play as well as she has at a young age in a slam 3rd round. Good for her. Caroline Garcia prevails against Leylah Fernandez. Straight set win, which is a really good win for Garcia. She could have got tripped up. It was a close 2-set match, 7-6, 7-5 for Garcia. So she looks to be the favorite to get to the semis because of the other things that shaken up for Garcia. So she could potentially meet Sabalenka or Bencic. Bencic won yesterday as well. So Garcia could meet Sabalenka or Bencic in the semifinals if things go that way. But good stuff from Garcia. And then the biggest upset on the women's side yesterday, Ons Jabeur lost in 3 sets to Vondrousova, Czech Republic player. I watched the match last night, this morning, whatever, with Jabeur. And the thing I noticed was, with Jabeur, every winner was met with exhaustion. And every mistake felt like frustration from Ons Jabeur. When she got a winner, you just looked at her face, she just looked completely exhausted, just out of it maybe mentally. And of course, with the mistakes, the frustration set in. It just seemed like she was not there mentally last night. She did win, and the thing was, it was a shame because she lost the first set 6-1, and she was missing everything. A lot of mistakes from Jabeur, not like herself. Not the woman that made the last 2 Grand Slam finals. That was not the person on display last night. And then she battled, looked more like herself. It was a tough second set, but 1-7-5, and you thought, maybe Jabeur gets back in this thing. Maybe she gets back in the 3rd set and makes a match out of it. And the same thing that happened in the first set happened in the 3rd, 6-1 3rd set. So Jabeur is out in round 2. That's her earliest exit at a slam. Ironically enough, it was the same slam that happened in 2015 against Vera Raven, the opening round. So it's been a while since Jabor's got home this early, but definitely a shame for Jabeur to lose. Like I said, she's made the last 2 slams, looking to make some progress here in Australia, and that did not happen. So like I said, Garcia looks to be the favorite in the semis because Jabor's not there. And like I said, Fruhvirtova would have played Jabeur if she didn't lose. So now Fruhvirtova has a good chance because that section is open, the elimination of Jabeur. Matches for tonight for the women's side. Jessica Pegula's in action. A big match tonight between Danielle Collins and Elena Rybakina. Danielle Collins, finalist last year, lost to Ash Barty. And then Elena Rybakina, the Wimbledon champion. That should be a really good match. Danielle Collins has had 3 setters the last 2 matches. So let's see if she can win this in straights, or is Rybakina going to take this one? That's a really tough matchup tonight for both of them. Coco Gauff's in action. Iga Swiatek's in action. Big match tonight, Victoria Azarenka versus Madison Keys. Really tough match for Keys. Azarenka's been playing really well. Like I said yesterday on the recap, Azarenka was down 1-0 in the first game, and then she won 6-1, 6-love. 12 straight games for Azarenka, looking very strong again down in Australia. And of course, also Maria Sakkari is in action tonight. Sakkari and OG Alazin better look out because the Netflix curse is real. Nick Kyrgios withdrew because of he had to get arthroscopic knee surgery. He was out. Badosa withdrew. Tomljanovic withdrew. Fritz lost yesterday to Popyrin. Berrettini lost to Murray. Kokkinakis lost to Murray. Jabeur lost today. So Felix Auger-Aliassime and Mary Sakkari better watch out because the Netflix curse, it is real and it is coming, sadly. And Tiafoe's still alive too, thank goodness. Tiafoe, I'm looking Tiafoe's chances against Khachanov tonight. Hopefully he advances. He looks really good to get to the semifinals now that Nadal is not there. Also, want to get to that point as well. Rafael Nadal, he is out 6 to 8 weeks because of the injury he sustained. So he's going to miss Indian Wells. He should be back for the clay court season, but it's looking like it's very dim for him to come back at a form that looks like Nadal. He might drop outside the top 10 for the first time in 19 years. That's insane. Hopefully Nadal has a speedy recovery. Hopefully see him on the court back to himself sooner rather than later. But yeah, tough break for Nadal. So that is going to do it. That is going to do it for the Day 4 recap down in Australia. I am looking forward to a lot of the matches tonight. My biggest one I'm looking forward to, of course, is I think Frances Tiafoe and Karen Khachanov. Khachanov playing really well right now, and Tiafoe, I think he's the front of the Americans at this point since Fritz got eliminated. So I hope Tiafoe can keep that momentum going and really motivate the other Americans to do the same. He looks really good right now. I'm looking forward to that match tonight as well. Should be a lot of fun. Thank you so much for watching. Keep it here on Advantage Receiver for all the news and updates of everything taking place down in Melbourne.